Hey guys, Marcel here with another interview, and I actually have the pleasure to join my good friend YamatoCannon from Team Splyce, the coach of course, and you guys have been playing the first half of the split. Do you think that you have like an expected result, or would you have maybe hoped for like a couple more wins, or was it like expected to like have like growing pains with such a new team?
Well, the first thing, I think there's a clear line where there's like a bottom four and there's a top six, right? And the way I see it and the way I compare it and what I look at is like how far are we from the top six? Right now I feel like we have some difficulties, but we're improving, everyone's motivated, and that's the only thing that matters in the end.
So you talk about motivation and of course moving forward into the next half of the split. What do you think you should be able to do in order to like maybe take a couple of wins? Like what do you need to work on with the team from a coach perspective?
Well, the thing is, I feel like we finally got the basics down. Like when you have 5 players that some of them sure have LCS experience, but when you have 5 players that aren't as experienced as the top teams, then you need to give it some time. And I feel like we finally got the basics down. Now we need to learn how to play intelligently and smart in game, because there's always new scenarios in League of Legends. You might say that everything is the same all the time, but you get thrown into new scenarios because there's so many different champions, so many different interactions. So I think it's more about just us learning how to play smart and learning how to adapt in game properly.
So your other team, Rocket, I mean, they kind of split up, but you have been coaching like 3 teams now. And what do you think is like the main difference between like the Rocket at the Gauntlet, like the form of them, and comparison to Splyce right now? Like, do you think there's like any major difference in how you approach the game, or is it just you just need more time basically?
Well, I feel like the main difference when I was actually coaching Rocket was I had 5 players that were experienced, they played a lot of LCS, and with that in mind, it becomes easier to just explain simple concepts and you can give the players some responsibility. With Splyce, a lot of responsibility falls on my shoulders, and it's more about just making sure I get everything said and done when it comes to pick and ban, when it comes to playing the game in general. So in this case, I feel like the responsibility is just bigger on my shoulders, and I'm completely fine with that.
So talking about responsibilities, I think we all know that Origen currently is in a like weird position with their coaching situation, and I'm sure you saw like some comments maybe from some of their players. What's your general take on coaches, what they should bring to the team, and maybe what not? Like, is there anything like maybe a coach should be like strategically like helping them out within in a sense, or is it just like a lifestyle kind of thing for like Origen maybe?
I feel like when it comes to Origen specifically, like I know some of the players, like I don't know how their situation in the team is exactly, but I feel like the goal of a coach is always to make practice and everything in life as efficient as possible. And of course that changes depending on what players you're working with. In Origen's case, I feel like just practicing discipline and teaching the players discipline and trying to get them out of their old kind of set rhythms, because they've been playing for so long. But of course, I think when it comes to in-game, they are very, very intelligent. They understand the game. I think it shows even like in the games that they're winning, it shows that they understand the game. So I think it's more about just practicing discipline, making sure the players understand that they need to improve, because sitting on one location when after you've done well doesn't bode well for the future.
Fair enough. So going from the coaching stuff to more of like an in-game thing, I know you're a big fan of Nidalee and Ari, so I have to bring it up, of course. What do you think of those 2 champions specifically right now? Because, you know, you have like you're very opinionated about those 2 champions.
Well, like we've played Ari, right? And the thing is, like, I kind of feel bad, or I'm kind of pissed off actually. I'm pissed off because people keep calling me out when I say something on a specific patch. I was very harsh. I think it was the EU LCS Spring Finals and also the EU LCS Summer Finals. I said that Ari is just not good simply because Victor and Azir are better. Yeah. With that in mind, these 2 champions have been nerfed. Ari got a massive buff with the Thunderlord, and then of course Ari is better. It's of course League of Legends is not a game like soccer where something changes. Like it does change, I mean. And in League, everything changes. Ari has been buffed, and of course she's strong now. And when it comes to Nidalee, the same thing, you know. We were together at IEM, right? We were at IEM, we were bashing Nidalee. But what has happened with Nidalee since then? She got a buff on Q, and of course the Runic Echo has been buffed. It's a massive buff. The jungle item was complete garbage before. With that in mind, Nidalee is a top tier pick now.
For the record, I agree on that one. So, so of course, I know you have been up to more than just coaching, and I think you have like some side projects maybe. I mean, if you want to share it already, do you want to talk about this, what you have like in store, maybe coming out soon?
Sure, I can give you guys a little teaser, and of course for my dear friend Marcel, I can give you also a teaser, special for you, man. I'm going to create like a website where I'm going to create a platform where I'm going to create content, and also like you can follow the team, follow me, and eventually we're going to launch it. I'm not too sure when, but it's coming soon. Thank you.
Any final words for your fans, maybe for your supporter from like Splyce, or maybe yourself as a person?
Well, I want to thank you, Marcel, for this lovely interview. And of course, I want to thank the fans for all their support. We are 3-7, but we're hanging in there, we're improving, and we're motivated. I would also like to thank Splyce for all their support, because they've given us everything that we need. And with that in mind, follow us in the LCS. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate to interview you. And of course, if you want to check out more interviews, we have them at theScore eSports.com. And yeah, see you next time, friends.